Hey everybody, it's Christian Antoine here with Angela Johnson. Welcome to the Ignite Agility podcast. We are here getting ready for our April Scrum Master Challenge, and today we would like to talk to you about our Advanced Certified Scrum Master class. Angela.
Yeah, so for Advanced Certified Scrum Master, Christian and I were actually two of the first approved educators when the Scrum Alliance came out with that offering. And I would say there's a positive thing about the offering and then a confusing thing about the offering. The positive thing is there's an advanced program that lets us dive deeper into the people stuff that we don't have time to get into in the CSM, and an opportunity to get better at showing your skill set and your work history that may be a cut above somebody who just has a CSM, because a CSM is kind of like your driver's license. You don't have to prove work history, but for the advanced CSM, you do. Now, the difference, the confusing part comes in with the way educators can go to market with that offering. So some educators choose to do it through one-on-one coaching sessions. Other educators will ask you to buy a series of on-demand videos that you watch. Christian and I have chosen to offer it as a 2-day immersion with other people.
Imagine that. People talking to people virtually, but still seeing each other, working with each other. So what are the requirements to get your ACSM?
Well, some of the requirements are that you have to have your certified Scrum Master from the Scrum Alliance, and then 12 months or more of work history as the Scrum Master. Now, that's not get my CSM, then start the clock on the work history. People could have been working as a Scrum Master and then just got around to getting their CSM. As long as they have both those things, they're eligible for the credential. Because there are some people who say, well, I got my Scrum certification from company XYZ, or I got this other one. It's like, think about it. Do you really think that if you're at Coca-Cola and you're holding a can of Pepsi going, no, I got something right here that'll satisfy things just fine? Not going to go over too well. So you may have gotten some education or some credential from a different organization, but the Scrum Alliance is offering you that path, but the only way that we can ensure that people understand actual Scrum, not the fake Scrum or the imposter Scrum that's out there in the world, is by having come through that CSM.
When you talk about experience, the 12 months of experience, understand it's not tied to the time you've held your CSM. But when they say you need to have 12 months of experience in the role of a Scrum Master, what if your title isn't Scrum Master at your company?
Yeah, that doesn't really matter, because they're not trying to say that they can control what an HR department may or may not do or what a company may or may not do with titles. It's that you've fulfilled Scrum Master as the way you were doing work. And so that's what we have people enter on their profile.
And that's how I explain it too, is that if you want the badge, you can come to the class ACSM anytime you have once you've got your CSM. And if you want the badge, you're going to have that 12 months of experience uploaded into your profile at the Scrum Alliance.
Yeah, anybody can receive the training. And the reason we chose to offer it that way, I don't know if you remember when we were going through this, is we asked a bunch of our actual graduates. What a crazy idea, right? We talked.
No, don't talk to
the
people.
Community that we were serving, and laid out all the different options, the way educators were going to market with this thing. And people are like, I don't want to drag it out.
Yeah, some people were doing it like a series of 6 different sessions. Or longer.
So a lot of our constituents said, nope, we want to get her done. And a fun thing has happened, if we can say anything fun has happened in the last year since COVID hit, is when, that rocked everybody's world and in-person events had to be stopped and we had to flip everything online. This is the way people are working at the moment, whether they like it or not.
And what better way to emulate, model, help people who may be struggling not only just with the Scrum Master role, or even with this added complexity of how do you be a good Scrum Master remote? How do you do that virtual? We do that in our class. We use the breakout rooms. We facilitate. We use call-outs. We put the grid up. I mean, it's almost easier with the grid to see everybody and to see their faces and how they're learning or any questions that might come across their face. And we just say, raise your hand. We don't use the hand button hardly at all. We keep it real simple. and try to emulate what you can do. And then, of course, using different tools, supposedly or not supposedly, using tools that everybody has access to, so it's synchronous and you're not just sitting there watching one person type and a bunch of people talk at you.
Or sitting there watching videos to learn to be a better Scrum Master.
Yeah, what if you have a question during the video?
Right? And how do you get better at doing something?
Practice.
By
Practice.
actually doing it.
By actually
and
doing
so, you know, some people say to me, you know, as an educator, oh, you guys still do simulations? You still do role play? Absolutely. We want our students to fail in an environment that's safe to have that first attempt in learning, because stakes are real low. We always tell people,
yeah, you're in a class.
Fired.
You know, it's you won't get fired. Not that you get fired for making mistakes in the real world, but the first time you do something, there's always a little bit of anxiety. I don't care how versed you are at change or trying things. It's gonna make you a little bit nervous or hesitant. So why not?
And the fun thing, not only is giving people the tools to actually better themselves in this new way of working virtually, whether they've been doing it for a while or whether they just got thrust into it because of COVID. But the other fun thing is that students are learning just as much in our virtual ACSMs from each other
Yes.
as they are from us.
I heard the magic number is, you know, I think it's around 10 or 12 people in a class, because that's where they get more than just instructor presentation, that dialogue learning. It's that cross-team learning, which is, you know, I share it with our classes. That breakout feature, that allowed us to pivot real fast, because it pretty much keeps that dialogue and interaction going, regardless if it was an in-person class or virtual.
And not only learning from each other and having the smaller class size, which you and I, you know, are really good about limiting those advanced classes to no more than 16 so that they can have that, but they get these takeaways from each other. And I've even had people come to the advanced CSM who already hold the credential, and I'm like, what? You know, I go to do their upload, and I'm like, it says you already have it. Oh, I know, but I took it from a different program that didn't allow for this kind of interaction.
They took it again.
I just watched videos, so I felt like I needed to come and have this experience with other people.